What? Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta say as well, I gotta talk about the after credit scene was the worst shit I've ever seen in my life. It was just
Oh no, I loved it.
I hated it. I hated it. I hated it, dude. Like you're
I
at
was
the,
laughing.
you're at the end of a show. Give me something juicy, like give me something worthwhile.
Give me the Daredevil cameo, baby.
Anything,
like, give me the fucking scene, bro.
How funny would that have been actually if it like panned out to the crowd and Matt Murdock is sitting there like listening to it. He can't even see it. That would have been so good. Like if they did something like that, I would have laughed my ass off. Like, but there was no reward to that scene whatsoever. Like again, like how much extra footage? I'd love to go back and compare the two because it was obviously longer, but it wasn't that much longer. I felt like I had seen it all. It didn't feel new to me. So I was thinking like, oh man, like imagine it like the camera panned around and it was like, I don't fucking know, old man Steve Rogers or something like that sitting watching it. How cool would that have been? Like that would have been fucking epic, bro. Like if they would have been
crazy.
It would have been nuts, man. There was no payoff. There was nothing.
You gotta understand though, man. This is advertisement. If you watch almost every episode that you watch of Hawkeye, literally has a billboard for Rogers the musical. And I'm telling you, man, like this,
they're gonna release
like
it.
they're gonna push this, and this is why they put it at the very end. And although it wasn't satisfying for like an after credits scene in terms of like what's next in the MCU, it was satisfying to me because I thought it was just hilarious that they just decided to drop this bomb at the very end.
Yeah.
I feel like if we hadn't seen the musical already, this would have been a good after credits scene.
Yeah.
Like if we didn't have that episode 1 scene, this would have been fantastic. But I feel like the joke is we already seen the joke though. Like we get it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can do this all day. It's funny. Yeah. We've seen it over the internet. So I would have liked it then. But now that we've seen it, they should have added something else for us, the audience. Like Finto said, it's Old Man Rogers. If Daredevil, could you imagine if Daredevil would have been sitting there
just bopping his head?
And like Foggy's like explaining the show to him. They're all in the same. There's that bit. Like just something more to the fans other than just the same scene that we saw.
Yeah, dude.
I was just singing along.
And then as well, like don't get me wrong, like it's funny, but that would have been better for me if that was like a mid-credit scene and then they did something at the end, because you got to think about it as well. Like the next, like we're not seeing any new footage now until like Doctor Strange 2, which is just going to be shenanigans. Like it's going to be madness. It's not going to be anything, I don't think, that's going to be like canonized going forward, unless some of the I've heard stuff of them bringing in loads of new characters, unless they're kind of ramping up now to bring in like the X-Men early and stuff like that, which will have a massive effect on the MCU. But I think a lot of the stuff it's going to be one-off little one-shots like Hugh Jackman and stuff like that, like stuff that we're going to go crazy to see, but it's not going to hang around. It's just like a one and done, like him doing like a hop between loads of different multiverses and just like, oh hey Logan, how are you, blah blah blah, whatever, I don't think any of that, like that, it's amazing fan service and stuff like that, but it's not integral to the story. So like, when do we get to see the actual story continue? I don't think it's Multiverse of Madness really. Multiverse of Madness is kind of just like a sidestep, whereas that's why I wanted something important to happen. I heard that they cut scenes from more Vincent D'Onofrio stuff. Like I would have liked to see the state that he's in. Did he lose his eyesight? Has he been picked up? Is he okay? Like what the hell's going on with him? Where is he? What's he doing? Or like, I don't know, like anything, something linking into Multiverse of Madness, maybe even. I don't know, like
I mean,
I just got nothing.
They did such a little job with Kingpin and made him so unimportant to the overall series. Yeah, I wish they would have just like kept him out of it and then just have him be at the musical. Maybe he's at the musical watching it. Yeah. They should just let Kingpin out of this thing. Yeah, like they just did not do anything with Kingpin, and it's such a letdown. Like, who's the big bad of this thing? Like Echo, and she's the one that beats Kingpin. Who's the other big bad of this? Like, it's so unsatisfying. Yeah. Like the big character that Hawkeye, a Avenger, the person he takes out is this street thug who's like a lieutenant. Like that's the dude he beats. Like, come on, bro. Like you gotta give, you gotta stop holding off the reveals and making the reveals big. You gotta start making the reveals earlier in these series and making them part of the show. Because Kingpin should have been in this thing at the very least at the beginning of last episode, right? Like episode 5.
Yeah.
It had to hit like a 2-episode arc where he goes through everything. There's a better way, I think, to set all this up than what we're getting. I don't know how to do it specifically because I'm not a writer, right? But it just feels like there could be a better way.
No, there was definitely a lot of reshoots and cuts. So like they just wanted to shorten it down to make it a Christmas episode and then just leave it at that. And so they really they were doing a good job of giving us a show, but when it came down to the end of it, they didn't stick the landing, and I think that's what really upsets us the most. And although you guys hate the after credits scene, I do love that you guys are trying to fix it. You know, it's something that could be fixed. And actually, Finto, I was going to ask, like, would you have preferred that little number be, you know, in a special episode, like a 4-minute episode, 4, 5, 10-minute episode of just like a little bit of that dance number? Would you have watched that?
I'll watch anything, bro. Like anything MCU related, I'm gonna watch. But I just think I'm just annoyed because now it's like, you know, we had such a big end to the year with Spider-Man and with this show, and we didn't get anything. Like, you know, even if you think back to all we got for No Way Home was a shitty Venom scene. We don't know what's gonna happen with that, and a fucking trailer for Doctor Strange 2. You know. So, you know, they kind of, and I understand, you know, that they want to kind of maybe give people like that exclusive look at Doctor Strange 2. But now that trailer's up on YouTube, like, no, like, you know, now I don't care about seeing that in the theater. I'm like, shit, I would have loved to seen some more of Peter, or, you know, an introduction of Norman Osborn or something like that, like something crazy, or Kingpin. You know, Kingpin would have been amazing to drop at the end of Spider-Man. You know, like that would have been great. Even that scene, like just something like, you know, you take him out of Hawkeye, but you just put him at the very end of Spider-Man, and then you have him just kind of walking in with the cane or something like that, with the white suit on. You'd be like, oh my god, it's Kingpin! Like, what the fuck? Like, it would have just slapped a lot more there. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm not critiquing it too much. Like, I enjoyed it all, but I just think it could have been better.
Yeah.
Have there been other movies besides Iron Man 3 that had an after credits scene that didn't necessarily do anything for the future?
They have definitely joked around in the past, like with after credit scenes and stuff like that, but usually, and I think at pivotal moments, like especially like the introduction of like the multiverse and how important Spider-Man was, I'm very surprised that they didn't do something crazy, like something important, you know. And I think I don't think that Venom is going to be that important. Maybe it is. Maybe that's what they're trying to do. I don't know. You know, I'm seeing a lot of people talking now. A lot of people want Andrew Garfield back. Like there's a whole campaign. Yeah. There's a whole campaign on Twitter for the Amazing Spider-Man 3, and they're thinking like, you know, that's who should be Tom Hardy's Spidey and stuff like that. Not Tom Holland. I'm hearing now as well that Tom Holland's next trilogy is not going to be in the MCU. How the fuck does that happen? You know. Yeah, I don't know, bro. Like, how does he go to college, but it's not? It's a college trilogy, but how does he go to college and it's not in the MCU? Is it not in the MCU? It's got to
be in the MCU. There's no way it's not.
I know. I don't know. This is just like stuff I'm reading, and I'm like, oh god. You know, I don't know. Yeah. You know, there's a lot of talk about Andrew, which I'm very happy about. I love Andrew, and I think he deserves his third movie. And I think if it does involve Venom, I think that'd be kind of cool, just because the other two Spideys have Venoms technically. Well, Tom doesn't yet, but now the symbiote's in his universe. So, you know, does it go into Flash? I hope not in the MCU, because I hate that Flash. But I'd like to see it go into somebody else, like Deadpool or something like that, because like that's in the comics. Wasn't that how it happened in the comics? He went like he synced with Wade first, and then went to Spidey. Yep. So like that could be really cool. Like, could you imagine like Wade with the symbiote, you know, and then it goes into Tom Holland, and then he brings it back to Sony or something.
And he desynced with Wade because it was too much, right?
Yeah, Wade was just too insane. And that's perfect. Like that's brilliant. Like, you know, like that's I think if you do stuff like that, like I think if the MCU are going to use Venom, they need to do something really different. They can't just have another Eddie Brock. You know, they need to just do something mad with it. And I think that'd be a really good idea. Hey guys, this is Finto. Thank you for checking out the video. If you like what you hear and you want to hear more, the link for the full episode of the podcast is in the description below. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Bye.